Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Broadband Universe. I'm Craig Corbin. So glad to be doing a special preview edition of Fiber Connect 2022. Joining us, JJ Jones and Rich Williams. Guys, welcome to the Broadband Universe.
Thanks, Craig, for having us, man. We're less than 3 weeks away from Fiber Connect, and can't believe it's here already.
Yeah,
It's that.
anytime someone says how close it is, I get nervous. I get pangs.
It's that time of the year, but it is that time when we've all marked it on the calendar long ago, and when we know that it is the ultimate event in the industry, and knowing what went on last year in Nashville, record-setting attendance. I can't wait to get back to the Gaylord Resort and Convention Center there in Nashville. The excitement is palpable. JJ, give us an overview.
I'd be glad to, Craig. The one question that Rich and I keep getting is, how can you top last year? We hear that over and over, but we do believe that we've got the content to really top what we did last year. And I'll just kind of go through real quick on some of those statistics. We had an update yesterday, Craig, and as of yesterday, we have over 1,900 attendees. And so we're less than 3 weeks out. We've already got 1,900 attendees. And just as a comparison, last year, we were at 2,100 total for Fiber Connect. And so we are all over that number already. We've got over 500 network operators and public officials signed up, which is just great to have that many operators and officials that are coming to Fiber Connect. We got over 200 speakers, over 75 sessions, over 184 exhibitors. Craig, we're sold out. We've been sold out for months, not weeks. We've been sold out for months now. And we've got a waiting list of over 70 companies that are hoping they get a chance to come in. But over 184 exhibitors, 3 special luncheons for our network operators, public officials, and women in fiber. We've got 8 tracks for our breakout sessions. And we're starting out the conference on Sunday, not with 1, not with 2, but with 5 pre-conference workshops, Craig. And it's just an incredible lineup of speakers and sessions. And I'm ready for it to be here, to be honest with you.
No doubt about it. Well, all those metrics that you just mentioned are staggering. When you talk about the number of exhibitors that you have and that kind of a waiting list, that speaks to the value that Fiber Connect brings to the conversation. And we've known it for years because, being there year after year, you see the networking opportunities, you see the peer-to-peer sharing of knowledge and information and how important that is to have that opportunity. But one thing that I wanted to start on, and Rich, maybe you can help us out here, that roster of speakers is tremendous. And, starting with that opening keynote on Monday with Andy Burke, the NTIA, getting things going, that's an amazing list of speakers. Talk about that.
Well, when we started out, I think we started out with that mandate 10 months ago when we started working on the conference of how are we going to top last year. And one of the things we really wanted to do was focus on the conversations we thought needed to happen and then bring in the people that could best have those conversations to benefit of our audience. And that included this year adding 2 what we call demand drivers, right? Those companies that are creating services and applications that are driving the need for more capacity in the network. And we're thrilled that we have a speaker from Meta and a speaker from TiVo sharing their insights and how their company are going to continue to push the limits on what they can deliver to their customers over broadband networks and why fiber is critical to their success going forward. Other than that, we've got an amazing lineup for the very first panel after Andy Burke's keynote, focused on called the Federal Focus, Bridging the Digital Divide. And we've got Undersecretary Torres Small from USDA Rural Development. We've got Radha Sakar from USAC. We've got Jim Stegman from CostQuest Associates that's doing the mapping. And we've got Charlie Vogt from DZS and Stefan Vandersteel from Nokia. So it's a great way to kick off the conference. We have follow-on panels called State of the States that brings in several broadband officers. We've got a panel on Tuesday that's near and dear to JJ's heart, which is fiber and the social good. So I'll flip it back to JJ to talk about that panel.
Absolutely.
I'm real excited about that, Craig. Wanted to highlight companies out there. We've got some operators. We've got some equipment manufacturer companies, but wanted to highlight, you know, going above and beyond on serving communities. So it's called Fiber and the Social Good. And what we want to highlight, Craig, is we know that the providers are offering fiber broadband services to their community, and the equipment manufacturers are building the equipment to use that the operators use. And so wanted to really showcase these companies that are really serving their communities above what they would do from a commercial standpoint. So as an example, one of our presenters on that panel is Richie Sorrells. He is the president and CEO of GVTC Communications. They are located in the hill country of Texas, outside of San Antonio, and GVTC has created. They're a telephone cooperative that's offering really quadruple services. They're offering security along with the video, voice, and data. But they created a foundation that can give back to the community. And so they do a huge golf tournament fundraiser with all their vendors that raise hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they're giving that money back to all these nonprofits throughout the area. And we just want to highlight those communities, those companies that are going above and beyond on giving back. And so I'm really excited. I had the privilege of moderating that panel. We're going to have Sherry Baranek from Clearfield, Hugh Mina from C Spire, Richie Sorrells from GVTC, and Jisoo Song, who's from the Office of Educational Technology. And so real excited just for our audience to kind of hear some real life stories on companies that are giving back, because I think that is something that's really important today that we need to highlight for sure. And so real excited about that.
Well, I think
you gave a great.
Oh yeah,
Go ahead, Rich.
GC Song from the Office of Educational Technology, what they're there to talk about is all these programs that they have that go from pre-K all the way through continuing education, and how broadband plays a role in helping people prepare for a career, prepare for a transition in a career, and stay connected. Right? It's really the government is really putting a lot of effort behind making sure once the broadband's there, people can get the access they need to build better lives.
Absolutely. And JJ, I appreciate you using the example of GVTC and Richie and his team. I know them well. I've played in that tournament a number of times, and the work that they do in their community is unparalleled. And so it will be great for people to learn more about what they do and how they do it, and so many opportunities across the board for giving back to the communities being served. One thing that you mentioned earlier in the conversation, that's sort of that pre-conference schedule that starts on the Sunday of Fiber Connect 2022, that is so important. The opportunity for those who are looking to evaluate getting into the world of broadband, the broadband starter kit, and all those conversations, some phenomenal discussions that are so important in helping people navigate that journey. Talk about that if you
Yeah,
would.
I'd be glad to. And so, we've got 5 pre-conference workshops. For years, we kind of had our staple, the Fiber Broadband Starter Kit, kind of the A to Z or soup to nuts on what it takes to deploy fiber. But this year, our focus on the starter kit, Craig, is we're really following a model on where things are currently are in the industry. And so we're talking about creating the community broadband assessment. So how do you do that? How do you go about kind of getting with the community and conducting an assessment? So that's one of the topics for that workshop. Another one is brand research, how to do brand research. Also, how to get your community involved, kind of the community political stakeholders. How do you get them involved in your fiber deployment? So we're real excited. Once again, I should say, is our Fiber Broadband Starter Kit, but we've also got 4 new ones. And so our Fiber Broadband Infrastructure Playbook for state offices is one that Rich and I are real excited about. And the focus of that workshop, Craig, is really those state broadband directors and offices. And so we're going to have a lot of content that's very, very relevant and current with what's going on right now. And so we're going to have some sessions in that workshop that cover the BEAD program, that cover how to get your state broadband office set up, And so we're real excited about that. We've got several state broadband directors that are going to be coming in and speaking in that workshop. We've also got one on Fiber 101 that some of the guys over at OFS are putting together. From just
Nice.
so because you forget that there's so many people that might not even know a lot about Fiber
Yeah.
101. So this is a good time for us, a good opportunity, good platform to kind of go over just the basics of Fiber 101 and fiber design. We've also got two other workshops this year that are in partnership with other
Mhm.
companies. And so fiber panels for cable operators, we're doing that in partnership with our good friends over at ACA, Matt Polka and his
Nice.
group, and along with CableFax.
Yep.
And then we're also got one on the future of fiber technologies base workshop, which is in partnership with Broadband Forum. So make sure you get there early on Sunday. All of our workshops are starting in the afternoon, so we start several of them at 12:30. And so what Sunday's going to look like, Craig, is we're going to have about 5 hours of really great pre-conference workshop content, and then we're going to go from that to our opening night reception. And if you were there last year, it was just a great turnout. We're going to have some special
Yeah.
Nashville musical guests joining us with that work for that reception. And so, real excited about just kicking off what used to just be one workshop, but really I consider Sunday as our opening day with all the content that we have. So, real excited about that.
Absolutely. There's something else, guys, that in looking at the overall agenda that is extremely interesting to me, and that's the
Oh yeah.
trainer uh,
Yeah.
part of it. Talk about
Well,
that if
sure.
you would, Rich.
So, one of the challenges that operators are going to have and the industry is going to have as we move forward, especially after the NTI NOFA came out so heavily favored towards fiber, was how do we make sure we have the workforce that can put that fiber in? So the FBA launched the optics training program. They announced it this time last year, kicked it off, the pilot program in Wilson, North Carolina in March, and we just completed that, which is fantastic. And we are going to be hosting a Train the Trainer session that runs throughout the conference for people that work at they're administrators from community colleges, they're tied to veterans groups, they're tied to technology companies that want to want to be involved and train that next level of workforce. And we had scoped it to have 20 people there, and we have 30 registrants, and we're still taking more. So we're
Nice.
oversubscribed for that, which is what we were hoping.
Yep.
That is exciting. That's what you want, is to have that kind of excitement. When we look at putting something like this together, it takes an entire year to get ready for the next event, and I know that that's been the case. And JJ, you as the chairman of Fiber Connect, it's a labor of love, but I'll tell you, you also have had so many people I know that have assisted in this process. Talk about
Yeah,
that.
we've got a great conference. If I go back, Rich and I started working on this. I'm going to say September of October last year, and so really getting the groundwork laid down for the whole call for speakers process that we go through. But between Rich and Ashley and his team at Connect Two, our other partners over at MMS, David and his group, our entire fiber broadband team, from Lucy Green to Trish to Jennifer to Deb, of course, Gary Bolton's leadership, our
Yep.
conference committee, the list goes on and on. But it takes not two people, but a group of probably 25 or more um,
Yeah.
to put this on together each year. And so it's very heavily volunteer based, and but it's a great group that have the same common goal, putting together the best content and the best agenda
Mhm.
for Fiber Connect year in and year out.
Yeah, no doubt. And guys, I know that you would agree that it's impossible to overstate the importance of what attendees will come away with at Fiber Connect, especially now. There is no more important time in our industry than what we're going through right now. And so that's part of the excitement, at least for me, in getting to Nashville for Fiber Connect. Rich, as we begin to wind this down, if you would encapsulate from your perspective the importance of
I
Fiber
appreciate
Connect.
that. So, the conference theme this year is when capacity is unlimited, the possibilities are limitless. And I think that the reason Fiber Connect is so interesting and such a pivotal place to be is because we are at that pivotal moment in the industry, right? If you want to be part of the conversation of how fiber is going to shape the future, then you need to be in Nashville. And if you make a choice, if the pressure that's on state broadband offices, if they make a selection for something other than fiber, in reality, they're making a decision to leave their communities behind, right? Because there's so much potential that fiber enables, from work from home, for economic development, for recruiting new businesses. That all requires the kind of capacity that fiber presents. And you're going to find it talked about with a part of our panels, part of our sessions, and part of the proof of concept demonstrations we'll have on the show floor. And that's where fiber is going next.
Absolutely. And your role as program director is something that is so important. We thank you for the time and effort that has been put into this process, and I know that everyone's going to be excited to be able to thank you in person in
We'll see.
in just a few days. JJ, as we wind this up, of course, anybody that wants information can check it out at fiberconnect2022.org online. Any other things that we want to stick in there before we wrap this conversation
Go
up?
register today. I'm not trying to do fear tactics, but we had a cap last year, just based on the hotel capacity, our food situation, and so I have a feeling that we're going to have to cap. And I don't know what that number is yet. I'm not ready to throw a number out there, but don't delay. Go ahead and sign up today. One thing, Craig, in closing, is what's been special about this year is there's so many organizations out there, other associations that are kind of coming alongside of us more in a kind of a partnership role. And so I mentioned ACA. ACA is going to be sending a lot of people there. We're also got 7 states. A lot of their representatives are going to be there. And then, we can't take credit for this, even though I'd like to, but very serendipitous. APPA, the American Public Power Association, they are hosting their conference, same location, same dates as us. And so we've kind of passed along a special expo pass for them. And so they're going to be able to experience Fiber Connect as well, all the people going to the APPA conference. And so the Gaylord Opryland is completely sold out, just not for us, just not for APPA, but the hotel is sold out. Restaurants are back open. I know we had that issue last year, but restaurants are back open. We've got food trucks coming to kind of help with lunch. And so we're hoping that the food will not be an issue this year, but don't waste any more time. Go ahead and get registered today. You do not want to be missing all the sessions, from general sessions to breakouts. Fiber Connect 2022 is going to be the industry's conference for this year.
Absolutely. Guys, can't thank you enough for sharing this preview of Fiber Connect. It is a can't miss event that we look forward to each and every year. Look forward to seeing you guys in Nashville.
See you there.
Thanks, Craig.
All right. Thanks for letting us be a part of your day. The Broadband Universe brought to you by Vitruvi. Build faster, reduce costs, improve quality, and by Lit Communities. Light up your community. You deserve better internet. On behalf of JJ and Rich, I'm Craig Corbin. We'll see you next time right here on the Broadband Universe. So long.